What's going on, traders? How's everybody doing? I hope you had a great long weekend. Want to do a recap here of the S&P 500 for you. A lot of developments in the market. Here it is Tuesday, February 21st. All right, so first thing I wanted to go over was this pattern that we pointed out, the A, B, and C here. And we saw what followed after each one of these, and now we are seeing it take place live here um, with the last couple of days price action. I was talking about this yesterday, or excuse me, in the last review. The thing that was concerning to me was we broke the structure here, and as you can see here, we still started selling off. So this seems to be playing out pretty accurately. The other thing I wanted to point out, we went over. Let's find it here. We went over this for the Wyckoff, people out there. We went over this distribution phase that we were in, and it looks like now we are breaking out of it and going into the markdown. So this is the accumulation, then we have the markup, retest, and break up, keep marking up, and then here distribution, mark down. Let's see about a potential retest, and then for another move down. So that's something I am watching as well. But as you can see here, that this did do what we were kind of anticipating and started to sell off. Now, we've been talking about the sell-off for a while, even back in the beginning of February. We were talking about us being severely overbought here in the Momo, and that this needed to cool down, and we finally started to see that red coming in. And now you can see, just like we talked about, we've come down into the zero line, and we've seen some selling pressure. Rates in the dollar seem to be back on everybody's mind again. I think there was a lot of talk, besides Bullard coming in on Thursday, talking about that 50-point potential of the 50-point raise. We had the markets pricing the probability of that higher again today, and TNX certainly was on the move today. The dollar was reasonably strong as well. So, definitely let's keep an eye on that. We have FOMC minutes tomorrow, so that could bring in a little bit of volatility as well. But we did close below 400. Now, it wasn't, just about $1 lower. I mean, it wasn't anything really, too extreme. Could have been a lot worse. Certainly can see this being a fake break. And we really just need to see what the close is tomorrow and for the rest of the week, if they can in fact hold under 400. Now, of course, if we get really away here, and start to push away, then obviously it's less and less likely. But we could still look for retests and things like that. However, now I'm starting to lose that kind of bullish bias, so I'll probably switching a little bit more short-sided now. But we'll have to see, obviously, again, if the 400 holds, if this is a fake break or not, and I guess we'll really find that out tomorrow. And we are coming into the zero line here, so it's very possible that we start to see a little bit of momentum, but it might just be for a back test. I was really hoping that we would see a stronger back test here on the trend line, but we didn't get it, so there was no play there for me. All right, so a few other things I wanted to look at before we get into today's price action. VIX closing, back over 20, was up about 15% at one point, closed up over 14.25% at 22.87. So that is certainly bearish here. And what did I want to look at? Let's get into today's price action a little bit. Hey, let's just look at the fibs here for a second. All right, so we did break the 22, and the next possible answer would be all the way down to 391. That's pretty far, so nothing really there kind of showing us anything of interest, in my opinion. I feel like there was something else I wanted to look at. Can't recall. Let's take a look at the VIX here. Oh, so we came in, really hit that 20 right to a T, and then boom, big gap up. Now we're pretty high here, so let's see how we react. This is certainly a challenging area for VIX. Some type of a pullback tomorrow wouldn't surprise me, but we'll have to see. We'll watch when it gets up close to that 24 area. That's going to be important. So we'll see what happens when it gets up there. All right, so let's get into today's price action a little bit. Pretty straightforward. I mean, it was kind of boring, to be honest, but I mean, it was at least a trend day. Let me turn these off. Ah, the flag. I wanted to mention the flag. That's right. I knew there was something else on the daily I wanted to point out. The flag here, we've starting to break under it. So this is definitely something we want to pay attention to. The fact that we're losing this as well, and you know, the bigger trend line that we were watching, not only from January, but if you go all the way back from October, this was another one I wanted to point out really quickly as a potential area that we could be coming into. We can look for some possible buy reaction in this zone. So that would bring us down around that 396.60, 395.67 area, and that coincidentally is VOPC range on the daily as well. So we want to watch out for that. Really, the last leg for them for the bulls to try to hold something. So want to watch that. Of course, again, this shorter trend line has been broken, but then we have this one that we want to watch out for. So let's do that. Just going to take this off right now. Let's get into today's price action a little bit. Okay, and actually, you know, I wanted to go into this. So we came up, hit into some sell side sellers here, came down. I did try to catch a move. This move right here was unsuccessful. I thought, you know, we would still be able to come up again, at least test this for one more chance, but we were unable to, so I got stopped out of that long. I did try another one, I think, as we came down into the bottom of this flag, again with that 400, that, you know, didn't work. I just got out half. So basically 2 red trades there. Certainly a short area here was this. You could have shorted here. I did not get that. You know, as we were in this area, and this 401 too, I was also interested in, but the reason I didn't take it was because we were so close to 400, and that's such a strong level. For me, the risk to reward, $1, really wasn't there. But I was able to get the short side once we got that break confirmation and we came back up and retested that 400, also back testing the bigger flag here. I took this short, and we got a little something out of it on the downside. So for me, it was a red day because of trying to catch those 2 reversals. Of course, obviously, sellers were the victors today, but we did get a little bit of the pie short, so that was fine. But either way, you can see it was kind of, you know, this was a decent move, and I wish I had taken that, but of course, the risk to reward, you know, I wasn't so sure that we would break 400 today, so all you can do is play with what you've got in front of you. Some levels I'm looking for, some projections. If the bulls can get over 400 and hold tomorrow, then I'll be looking for us to come to that 403.15. If they can get over that, I'll be next targeting 404.50, and then probably that 405 pivot, and that'll be a big spot. Hopefully, you know, for the bulls case, if they can get over, we'll be looking for around 406.85, and then 409.55. That 406.85 shouldn't be a surprise level for you, nor should the 409.55, because we have talked about those levels before as well. So those are some upside projections, targets, levels I am watching. Again, this is obviously just my opinion and for entertainment and educational purposes. But the Bears, if we hold under 400, next big level I'm going to be watching is for them to want to try to push price down to 397.50. If we get under that 397.50, I'd look for in this range here. This I'll show some liquidity here, some buyers here. I'll show this in a second. But then we've got that daily VOPC 395.50. We've talked about that in one of the first or second videos before as a potential spot that I'd consider maybe taking a long trade for a swing or something like that. But if they do break under it, then Bears will probably be looking down for that 394.20. I don't know that I've got 392.50. If we break that, then we're coming into that big 390, and that would be another key spot for the Bulls to be able to hold. If we get under that 390, then I'm certainly going to be more bearish. I'm right now, I'm a bit, I would say, cautiously bearish with the break of structure and closing under 400, but we'll have to see what happens tomorrow. I did want to show you a little bit of some bullish liquidity, though, some zones. Let's just go to 4 hour here, and this will be good. Actually, why is this looking so dark? There we go. So you can see here when we busted through this huge sell reaction, came down, not looking good, but we're going to be watching for here. This is the next area. Again, that 396.50, 395.60. This whole zone, we could be really pushing into this, drawn like a magnet down into this area. We'll be watching, but you can see we are pretty oversold here on the Momo 4 hour. We are below the value area, so that is definitely something I want to watch out for. I would think that the markets would want to push back into that range. Just going to go in the hourly really quickly. And we are below here in the hourly as well. Value area low here on the hourly, 406.41. So we're pretty extended from that one. And that's interesting. And for the 30, yeah, that's still the same for the 30, so no change there. And for the 4 hour, we've got 401.80. So, that might be certainly an area that we come up and retest, try to get back over. And it could be something to short against. But if we reclaim it, I would say that would be a pretty good sign for the Bulls. So let's see if they can, they can get over that 400, that 401.80 gets reclaimed. But I'm not sure. We could see a bit of consolidation tomorrow as well. Like you said, like I said earlier, we had a huge move down. So, markets are going to need to take a little breath. We're closing, 2% down, final print at 399.09. So, markets are probably, like I said, going to go into some consolidation. And we have FOMC minutes, so we'll see how tentative the markets are about that. So watch for this area here. We went over those levels. Going to go a little bit further out here. And we've got certainly some levels that we want to watch. 398 here. We're getting real close to 398.50, down to around 396.20, and then the big ones come down closer to 390. So when we get there, if we do, then we'll go over those. But this is decent here, so we'll be watching this area as well here, for sure. Let me just mark it off. Right around 398.50 here. Probably could just be a little bit lower, but that's fine. All right, guys. So that's pretty much all I wanted to go over today. Definitely some big shifts in the market with losing this flag and breaking down out of that short-term uptrend. So let's keep an eye on the market, see what we're going to do. Probably some type of a bounce, and then, maybe head back down lower. Let's look for those retests. Maybe if we came into 402.50 here and retested this key level, this key area, you can see now that the sell side are are here. It's starting with the red, so that could be a short as well, to try to see if we can't get down to maybe 395, that 395.50 area VOPC. But we'll take it level by level, and I hope this helps. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Have a good one.